So, I've just passed the Virginian border, which means that we officially left DC. And by we, I mean myself and my TomTom GPS navigational system, for those who don't know. And now we're on our road across the country. So I don't really know anything about really driving or driving across the country, but I did read a couple books, and they say the first thing you need is someone else to drive with. And I ran into a couple problems in DC because I don't really know that many people who are willing to drive across the country and stay there, because I'm not coming back. So I decided to do it solo. And since I decided to do it solo, I thought that I could bring my video camera along and talk to my video camera and basically have someone else there besides my TomTom GPS navigational system, and sort of narrate my own journey, no matter how boring that is. I packed 2 boxes of CDs. One box was a good box, which got covered by all my other stuff in the back, and the other box was all of the non-essential CDs, what I like to call them, which is basically the CDs that I don't really ever listen to. For example, the Lost in Space soundtrack of the movie Lost in Space. I've got a couple now, 4 CDs, which aren't bad, but they're mostly songs I thought were great back when I was in middle school. I was thinking maybe we could go for some classic Disney Volume 3. So we made it to Nashville, Tennessee, and now we're at the Ramada Inn. Behind me is the Bridal Path Wedding Chapel, and directly behind that is the Ramada Inn. And right behind that is the freeway. I guess what I'm trying to say here is, if there's one place to make a mistake in this world, it's this Ramada Inn here in Nashville, Tennessee. It's 10 a.m. on May 18th, and today we head to Texas. It's really crazy looking at houses out here, because they're like something out of an Edward Hopper painting, because they're just these lone, isolated houses in the middle of these fields that it's amazing that people live there. My idea is that this video is sort of like an experiment, because since I don't have someone to go with, or I'm not going with someone, or I didn't choose to go with someone, whatever it is, I'm going with you because you're watching this. I feel like your family should start with your friends. Like, you should be able to, like, your friends should be part of your family. A very confused person, probably. I think there's a bit of poetry to the TomTom GPS system. Because I think when it comes down to it, you're either a point of interest or you're the destination. Because you're either something just along the way, or you're what you're trying to get to. That's what I think. I think you're either a point of interest on the way to your destination, or you're the destination itself. I just had a great night at Mimi and Papa's house, my grandparents' place, and now we're back on the road and we're heading out of Texas into whatever state is next to Texas.
After 400 yards, keep right, then take the second left.
I love you, TomTom. About 2 years ago, my mom was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. And the big thing in our family was who was going to be there for her to sort of take care of her. And so everyone in our family was trying to figure out who should stay back and watch over my mom. They basically came down this one night where we were all like sitting around the dining room table, and basically just went around the family just seeing who would stay. And basically my only excuse was that, you know, I have college left, and I have friends in California who care about me. But that wasn't really enough. So my mom, you know, she said that, you know, I would be the one who would have to stay. And so my sister, she sort of came to my defense, and she said, you know, why does Zack have to stay? And then my mom said, because he has no one. And I mean, it's one thing to say that to yourself, you know? Like, it's one thing to think that, well, you know, I have no one, but, you know, I can work on them. You know, someday I will have someone. But to have someone else tell you, someone close to you say that you have no one. I can't really describe it. I saw a sign for the Mesaland Community College Dinosaur Exhibit, and I thought, this has to happen. Well, it was a long trip, but I'm finally there, at the Mesaland Dinosaur Exhibit. Well, I have good news and I have bad news. And both of them are that the Mesaland Dinosaur Exhibit was closed. Right now I'm in Memphis, Texas, which appears to be a abandoned town of some sorts. As you can tell, it's incredibly quiet. This place is basically begging for a zombie attack. It looks like some kind of weird movie set, but it's real. It was the best town I've ever visited, easily. And nobody seemed to mind when I claimed it for my own. There's no reason not to do something like this. I'm just gonna say, forget college, don't do it. Spend your money on a cross-country trip. Buy a car, rent a car, and just drive. You know, it doesn't matter what coast you are, just drive, and then you'll get there. And you'll learn more. You'll learn more just going halfway than you will an entire semester, an entire year. See what's happening here? I'm sounding like a bad MTV movie, but that's alright, because I mean it, I mean it. Get a car and drive, it's worth it. Everyone's been asking me what I want. Oh, I just bit my tongue. Yeah. And that's pretty much what every single person has asked me. And I can never answer them, I never know. I know what I want to say. But I know it's not what they want to hear, so I just don't say it. I just say I don't know, or just don't say anything at all. But it's a lie, because I know what I want, you know? I want to kiss a girl. I never kissed a girl before. I held hands with a girl though. And when she held my hand, there was nothing like it. And that's what I want. I want to hold her hand again. I want to kiss her. I just want to be with her. I just want to be with the people I love. And I didn't have anything like that in DC. I just didn't. That's what I want. Well, I just spent a night at the luxurious La Quinta Inn, which I assume means adventure in Spanish. Before I left for DC, Beth sent me a letter with candy inside of it, and it has a note with it. It says, Zack, take the red one to cure loneliness. The orange one should cover your 100% of your daily value of vitamin C, and the yellow one's an E, so use with caution. I already took the yellow one, but still the red and the orange one left. I could use the vitamin C right now, I think. My parents are really good people. It's just a shame that they do such terrible things sometimes. They fight a lot. And when I was a kid, they fought a whole lot more. It was a lot worse too. They'd be screaming, and my mom would throw stuff at my dad, and my dad would either take it or walk out, or neither of them were in the right, but at least back then it was okay because I had my brothers and my sisters, and together we could handle it. It's fine. But then when I got older, my brother went to college, got married, my sister got married, had kids, my other brother went to college. So it's pretty much just me and my parents left inside of this house. I guess I was in middle school. And the fights got a lot worse. And so every once in a while, my mom and dad, they'd be fighting at 3 or 4 in the morning. And then my mom would wake me up and then make me sit in between her and my dad while they fought. And then she she tried to get me to take part in the arguments. She tried to make me ask questions. She'd be like, Zack, why don't you ask your father why he doesn't pay the bills? Or why don't you ask your father why he sleeps with other women? And I never really knew what to say because, I wasn't supposed to say anything. And if I did say anything at all, then I'd be taking the side with someone. So I didn't say anything at all. I just sat there. And I felt guilty for not saying something, but I knew I'd also feel guilty if I did say something. So I just felt terrible. And this would happen every so often. I thought it was normal. I never told anyone that. For a while, I didn't think that I deserved to be happy. I thought that the second I started feeling good about my life, then I'd stop being able to make beautiful things out of my life. I don't know how Beth's gonna react when I actually show up at her house. But you know, if she doesn't love me, that's okay. I mean, it'll hurt, but it's fine. The last time I saw a place like this, I was watching Starship Troopers and The Road Warrior and Tank Girl. I actually never saw all of Tank Girl, but it was on TBS once. So last night we made it to Phoenix, Arizona, and I spent the night over at my aunt's place. And today we're heading to California. It's our last day on the road. I really don't know how Beth's gonna react when I look... Doing bad talking to the camera today. I don't know how Beth's gonna react when I show up at her door in LA. Obviously, I would prefer her to be happy, but I suppose there's also the possibility that she could be mad. But I think what I'm most afraid of is showing up at her door and seeing that she's completely indifferent to all of it. I don't think she does feel the same way about me. But I don't know what she feels, so I'm not going to make any kind of assumptions about it. But I know that if someone didn't care, they wouldn't have sent me letters or sent me things that they made or talked to me. And that's what she did, you know, she talked to me. And she talked to me when there was no one else for me to talk to. And that's what this trip's about. It's about having someone else to talk to and someone else to be with and someone else to spend time with. Everyone's wondering why I did this trip alone, and that's really one of the biggest reasons. It's that this whole past year, I've never felt so lonely before in my entire life. So I thought that if I could drive across the country by myself, then I'd never have to feel lonely again. You know, I'm shooting most of this blind. I don't know what 99% of this footage will look like because I haven't looked at any of the tapes and I can't look through the viewfinder while driving. So right now this could be like a zoom in of my nose and the footage is completely unusable. But it's alright. Maybe I'll do some fancy editing, just throw a couple filters on it, and then, I don't know, lens flare, star wipe, then fade to black. We have officially made it to glorious California. And it looks the exact same. I think the main problem that we're facing here is a problem that faces everyone in this world. And that's that everyone's happy endings are in the hands of someone else. That's a core problem. The core problem in this world is that everyone's happy endings are in everyone else's hands. So let's just hope that. Let's just hope there's one for me. Awesome. It's times like these when you find giant abandoned dinosaurs in the middle of the desert that you realize that traveling across the country is completely worth it.
You know how beautiful you are. I'm sure that you already
Well, only a mile away,
know.
and we had to wait for a train to cross.
But even if you don't believe it's true,
Well, we've arrived in
I would just like to say
La Mirada,
that I will always
and we're there.
love
It's weird that I've come like 3,000 miles and I'm worried about walking up to her door and just knocking.
And even if you end up far away in
And videotaping.
Thailand or Paraguay, I
I
would
feel like
just
if I've come this
to
far,
say
then
that I will always
I really don't think I have a choice.
love you.
I don't think I should have a choice. If it works out, it works. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. What I know for sure though is that this was one of the most wonderful 5 days I've had ever. And no matter what, it wasn't a lonely experience. And I don't think it ever will be again. I'm not used to walking around. So I've walked around the block like 3 times. And my throat's really thirsty now. So this is like the climax of the movie, like the end, so I have to do it. So like worst case scenario, she calls the cops, or never talks to me again. Best case scenario, there is no best case scenario. But something has to happen. Or nothing, I don't know. I was doing 75, but I never seemed to catch up with the pool which seemed to be over the road just this side of the horizon. Then after a while the sun was in my eyes, for I was driving west. So I pulled the sunscreen down and squinted and put the throttle to the floor and kept on moving west. For west is where we all plan to go someday. It is where you go when the land gives out and the old field pines encroach. It is where you go when you get the letter saying, "Flee, all's discovered." It is where you go when you look down at the blade in your hand and see the blood on it. It is where you go when you're told that you're a bubble in the tide of empire. It is where you go when you hear that that's gold in them that hills. It is where you go to grow up with the country. It is where you go to spend your old age. Or it is just where you go. It was just where I went.
Everything will be alright someday.